Welcome to WatchBox Switzerland. I have here Steven Izen from the United States. He's our guest today. And I understand you are a watch collector or a watch freak. How would you describe yourself?
Yeah, thanks for having me on the show, Patrik. I would say that I'm new to the watch game. I've got my first watch about 10 years ago, Panerai, and I've loved that watch for a long time. And it hasn't really been till recently where I started to enjoy learning about watches, getting to know them, and buying more.
Well, I understand that your friends from WatchBox in Philadelphia, in the United States, they organized for you a trip to Switzerland. And this is actually your last station. I know that you have been visiting Patek Philippe, the museum, which is of course a great experience. After that, you have seen FP Journe, which is an independent niche brand, and you have seen Panerai, which is a bigger brand, which belongs to a group. How do you see the difference? Did you realize that difference between a niche brand and a bigger brand which belongs to a group?
Oh, it's incredible. I've learned more than I ever could have learned going to these factories versus reading online. I mean, just seeing how each brand talks about their watches, meeting the people that are making them, and getting to hear the history and the stories behind them are incredible. And I think now, going back home, every time I'm on WatchBox looking at watches and I see a Patek, I'll think about my experience and the people and what they told me, and I'll just have a deeper passion for the brands than I would have previously. And I think I've also learned the difference between the brands and what they stand for, what they represent. So when I'm looking to buy my next watch, I'll decide what kind of watch I want to buy.
Very good. So that was your first time in Switzerland?
First time.
And your first time seeing a manufacture?
It's beautiful.
Did you have a possibility to talk to people?
Yeah, some of the watchmakers were extremely personable. They stopped making the watch. They were talking to us, telling us about their experience at FP Journe. It was actually an American watchmaker that we were able to speak to, who was from Philadelphia, which was really cool. And then we were able to see some different watches that they were working on, and the minute repeaters, and listen to those, which was really, really awesome.
It's a one-time experience which you cannot do probably if you go into a shop.
Oh, absolutely not. And just seeing where these people work and the pride that they have in their brand and that they work for is, it's impossible to get walking into a store.
So we talked before a little bit, and I understand that you really got attached to watches and introduced to watches through WatchBox.
Yep.
Can you tell me how that happened?
Sure. I think before WatchBox, I didn't really have a trusted place where I could go and read articles and know that I would see new content all the time. And I put WatchBox on the homepage of my phone, and now every time I open my phone, at least once a day, I'll open up WatchBox and I'll try to read an article about a watch that I'm interested in, just to learn a little bit more knowledge about the watch industry, and just be able to see what's going on. And before WatchBox, I never had a place like that I could go to.
Very good. Good to hear that you use the WatchBox app as an education place.
Yep.
Now, when you buy a timepiece, there is of course the product. What are you looking at when you buy a new product, a new timepiece?
Sure. So I think previously to this trip, I would look at what I could afford, and I would look at watches that I thought looked cool. But after experiencing these different brands and hearing what they stand for, now I have a lot more knowledge about the inner workings of the pieces and which brands stand for what different things, and if I want a sports watch versus a classic watch. And I'm able to use WatchBox to look at all types of watches and see which one I want to buy.
Now, there's of course the product which you purchase, but there's also the experience.
Yeah.
And today, of course, a lot of people talk about a buying experience. But what is important for you when you go out and you buy a timepiece or anything else? What is important for you from the part of the buying experience?
I think it's working with a person that is extremely knowledgeable, knowing that I'm getting a great deal on the watch, that I'm not getting ripped off, knowing that it's an authentic, real timepiece, and just having a seamless experience. And also, I think knowing that if I ever have an issue, I can go back to that brand and get a piece fixed.
When you have to put your trip now, so far, of what you have experienced going to Switzerland and also visiting the watch museum of Patek Philippe and to see those manufacturers, in one sentence, how would you describe that trip?
I would describe the trip as eye-opening and informative. And because of those two things, I've absolutely gotten more connected to the timepieces that I own and wanting to grow my knowledge and buy and sell and get more involved in the watch industry as a whole. And I would say that because I've been able to come on this incredible trip with WatchBox and they've been able to show me this experience that I never could have, I'm loyal to the brand now forever.
Very good. Thank you very much for that insight. I hope in the future we will be able to interview more people who are going to come and visit us here in Switzerland when we are going to organize watch tours, museum tours, and when we can give insights, more insights into the watch industry here in Switzerland.